This is the third weekend that Top Gun Maverick has been in theaters. So I've been hearing people say nothing but good things about this movie for the past 2.5 weeks. And with that being said, my thought going in was there's no way that this movie is as good as people have made it seem, nor do I expect myself to fully enjoy it nearly as much as everyone else has enjoyed it. I sit before you today to tell you that I was wrong, and I enjoyed that thing just as much as everybody else. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Whole Views, and today we're going to be talking about Top Gun Maverick. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't so far, and without too much delay, let's talk about why Top Gun Maverick is my new favorite movie of the year, and it really can stand up against anything else that film critics or people in general might want to throw at it when talking about the best movie of the year. So my score for the movie and my breakdown for what I felt about the different categories of how I rate films is going to be found in the description. But when you talk about movies that make themselves contenders for the best movie of the year, they have to have a few elements, right? And those elements are not the elements that you're going to find in the description. So one of the things that I think of as the best movie of the year was a movie called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And that movie to me transcended most films because it had an emotional core, like a whole lot of heart with a science fiction base around it. And that really made for a great viewing experience. It had great visuals, it had great acting and directing, but I think the thing that stood out the most about that film was the heart. Top Gun Maverick has just as much heart, if not more, and that is without having a large, strong connection to the first film. Talking about the other best movie of the year kind of contenders are like movies that are technically amazing. The one that I think of is The Northman. It's a really artistic Viking-based fighting action movie. And when you watch that movie and you pay close attention, real good film critic type eyes, you'll notice there's a lot of tracking shots. I said in a review several times that it's technically terrific. I said it's violence captured beautifully. Those things are very true for that movie. Top Gun Maverick has action, intense action that's captured terrifically to the point where you will believe that you are watching actual dogfighting, actual planes from navigating the sky all the time. And for the most part, based on a little bit of research that I've done and the buzz that I've heard around the movie, I think that's accurate. I think you're actually seeing real planes and real action take place in the air, just without the actual actors flying the planes, of course. Talking about that emotional core, some people may not feel that connection, and they may feel like it's necessary to go back and watch the first one to get the full brunt of the emotional core of this film. And while I will say that's relatively true, it's not necessary. If you saw Top Gun 20 years ago, like I did, and you went into this, I think you would be fine. But you would be better if you do as I did, and I stopped and I watched the original Top Gun this morning, and then I went to see Top Gun Maverick in theaters today, and I came out thinking, wow, this was a years later sequel, but done so well that there was nothing that they redid or no moment that they recreated that was unnecessary. They found a reason to do everything they did in this movie, and they found a reason to connect to earlier beats in the first film, and they did it in a way where everything made sense to do. I think about the volleyball scene. The volleyball scene is something that people remember from the OG Top Gun. Here it's replaced with a football playing scene, but it's done with purpose and it's done well. Like there's no reason that you could look at this and say, oh, they're just trying to recreate the volleyball thing. No, they are recreating the volleyball thing, but they're doing it with a whole bunch of purpose to it. And it makes it necessary and it makes it make sense. The song, Great Balls of Fire, you could see it in the trailer being sang for Top Gun Maverick, and you think, okay, that's a nod back to the original, but it's a nod that has a ton of heart and a ton of emotion connected to it. And again, if you didn't see or don't remember the original Top Gun, it comes back up and it's done very well, almost like honoring an earlier moment. Very well done. If you're fuzzy on the way Goose died in the original Top Gun, or like who Iceman was, that might be a reason to rewatch the first one. But just looking at this one, they give you pretty much all the reference you need to know what happened to Goose, who Iceman is, and why everything is when it is when you're looking at the film. There's the issue of Val Kilmer's real life illnesses, and it was handled with so much class and done so well here in this film. And I enjoyed that. I thought it was respectful. I thought it was just smart to incorporate the real life stuff and then handle it the way it was handled. Kudos to them on doing that way and honoring the Iceman character and kind of immortalizing him, making him a legend in that franchise. Hopefully that they never touch again, because Top Gun Maverick to me was so well done. I don't want to see anything else from that franchise. Just leave it how it is. Great stuff though. Talking about Goose and the way Goose exited in the first one, if you don't recall it, it was an ejection issue and a mechanical failure. But that moment, those moments are replayed here, and it's not just to retouch an old moment. It's done with purpose and it's done masterfully. I was very happy with that moment was recalled to this film. Overall, you know, I didn't see a trailer. Even if you look at some of my earlier videos that I made in relation to Top Gun, I mentioned it when I was looking at the Mission Impossible trailer. I said this. A lot of people are really hype about Top Gun Maverick coming out. I'm not really excited about that one. I probably won't even go see it in the theaters. I was honest in that position, and I really didn't have any excitement for that movie, and that franchise just didn't hold a special place in my heart. But after doing a double feature today, watching the original, then go and see Maverick, I have to say that it's made a great impression on me. And when I look at things, I can't see a way that people could come out of this movie and say, oh, it wasn't good. I can't see a way people could come out of this movie and say, the original was better. I can't see a way that people could come out of this movie and say, it shouldn't be up for like best picture of the year, or people shouldn't be putting it on this early list because we're only halfway through the year. Maverick is just a popcorn film. Like, not really at all. Yes, it's entertaining. Yes, it has some thrills. But to diminish it and say it's just a standard blockbuster, not at all. There's too much acting that's done well. There's too much directing that clearly misdirects the audience and makes the audience think certain people are gonna die. And they give you every indication that they're gonna die, but then they come through and save people in the right moments in a way that is not cheesy and still kind of honors everything that the franchise set up with the original film. So yeah, I think that this one will be universally loved in a way that Everything Everywhere All at Once cannot be, because it's so weird. And I think the technical mastery that went into these dogfights and these action scenes, and really just some of the plain scenes that you see right in the beginning, you'll think that this has to be CG. No, it's real. And that technical execution is what puts it above a technical masterpiece like The Northman or anything else in those categories that I think can come down the pike this year. So when you think about technically beautiful movies, Top Gun is right up there with it. When you think about movies with a whole lot of heart, feels, emotions, Top Gun Maverick, right up there with it. So yeah, it's changed my mind. And this movie lives up to the 3 weeks of hype that I've seen and experienced. So let me know your thoughts about the movie in the comment section. If you've watched it thus far, I thank you so much. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.